All right, good morning. Welcome. Welcome back, my friends. How we doing? Morning, everyone. All righty. Looks like it should be another exciting day. We are definitely having some better days. Hopefully another one. Nice day yesterday. Killer day yesterday, man. How'd everyone do? I mean, sometimes, you try to hold back the told you, because I that's my least favorite word. I hate the told you, because, I've been in the game long enough to know that you could be humbled in a matter of seconds. So, being humble in the market is absolutely important. And I hate that word told you, but man, the market did exactly what we talked about. I mean, just perfect. It was perfect. So hopefully you guys caught some of that. I mean, the pop and fade, the key demand below on NASDAQ, targeting the daily 20 here, the golden zone, just across the board. What a read. And, that just reminds me of when the market is clean, we know how to read the market. And at times, if you can't read it, at least for someone, if you're someone out there that typically has good reads, and then there's days where you're just like, what the hell is going on? That means that there actually are days on the stock market that just don't make sense, right? There's those days that are just sort of not valid and just sort of shit. But yesterday, right? Yesterday, just a prime time example of real price action off of key levels. It could not have been better. So, we love those days. And I'm very happy to have made the money that we did yesterday, because that might be something that doesn't happen again for, some time. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we continue to trade like we did yesterday, but we shall see. We shall see. 200% trade on Q's fade yesterday. Hey, hell yeah, bro. Let's go, man. 680 SPY, sick. Across the board, sick. So congrats, guys, on some of the trades yesterday. Today, ADP at 8:15, so in about 13 minutes, we do have some data to be aware of. We do have some more earnings. We had AMD earnings yesterday, which brought us down a little bit. Definitely a nice ride to the downside in the overnight session yesterday, hitting the key demand level on NASDAQ here, and then a beautiful daily 20 hold on the NASDAQ this morning. Yeah, Nvidia 201 was money. That was a beautiful 201 break and retest rejection through our low volume area that we were talking about. So, I mean, just everything we talked about in some shape or another, some way or another, just worked out awesome yesterday. Congratulations if you caught a piece. If not, hey, here we are again. Let's game plan again. Let's figure out what we need to be looking for. So, if you guys could, before we get started, please press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Help me continue to grow. And here we go. All right. So first things first, let's get the economic calendar going, because we do have some economic calendar action. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up the earnings calendar first. So earnings calendar, you guys can see right here. Today, we have McDonald's pre-market, which I believe already reported. I actually want to see how they did. What's up, Amped? Robinhood, APP tonight, Qualcomm tonight, ARM tonight, Snapchat, Elf Beauty. So we got some decent names tonight. This morning, McDonald's. How'd they do? How'd MC? Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Sorry about that. There we go. That's my bad. Robinhood, APP, Qualcomm, ARM. That's tonight. We sort of already know all this. Let's go to the economic calendar. So economic calendar today, you can see 8:15 non-farm employment change. So that's in about 11 minutes. ISM 10 o'clock. We'll be a little bit careful on that. Trump speaking today? What's he doing? What's he speaking about? He speaks for so no details on that. Trump speaking at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, a lot of talking heads. Friday, average hourly earnings, non-farm, and unemployment rate. All right? All right. Just do that so everyone knows it's there. And let's get started. So, NASDAQ futures this morning pushing very nicely back to the upside right now off of it couldn't get any cleaner off of the exact daily 20 SMA. Rad Dad, appreciate that, man. James, thank you for joining the coffee fund. Appreciate that, man. So, look at this, guys. All right? Right off the daily 20, right off the golden zone. This is so interesting today. This really is. If we can reclaim above this 570 Friday high right here, if we can get that break and retest, if we can get that reclaim ripper right above that 570 today, that is without a doubt a watch for upside. So this is my main watch of the day. If we can get a nice reclaim of the 25,570 Friday high, this is also where the market pretty much closed yesterday and closed at this low at 570. If we see this, if we're able to get above this and turn this back into an intraday support, I would definitely be looking for long sides, long trades, upside into 25.7. That would be my first watch. Definitely interesting after holding this daily 20 SMA, after coming down into it and holding it in the after hours. Also interesting because we gapped down in the overnight session, which we pretty much have filled the gap here to start. And also, what you need to be aware of is that this could possibly be the lower high again, which you can see right there, a pretty nasty rejection. So it is all about this level today. There is one thing that I need to see to consider along today, and that is a reclaim back above this Friday high. We need to get back above this. If you do not get back above this, then you spend the day inside of this channel. And if you spend the day inside of this channel, my friends, that is when the day is going to become shit. And so what I would recommend you do today is something like this. To be quite honest, I would recommend doing a little something like this today and bring back the old NTZ, because you do not have any business trading inside of this zone. There's no need for it. It's unnecessary. You're not going to find a really good trade inside of that zone. The best trade will come if we can get above this zone, above 570, back over Friday's highs, right here, and trade it up into 700. If we can reclaim 700, you're trading that back into the 850, right? For now, you are trapped between key demand below and the daily 20 and this Friday high, right? So price action will most likely be pinned inside of this zone, right? Because you're not going to want to short into the daily 20, and you also don't want to be long into that Friday high. And so this is a lot of nonsense that I would stay away from right here. This is your very clear NTZ on the day. Extremely clear. If you can get above it, great. Some volatility to the upside towards 700. If you get below the daily 20, you probably fade down towards that overnight low here again. If you can get above 25.7, you're going to see upside back to the 850. This is the zone to wait and see. Very clear. Wait and see market inside of this zone. Super, super clear. Now it's up to you to stay disciplined. If we break under the overnight low of last night, I believe you will trade probably back to this 160, 120, but I'm thinking you might even be able to get more. If you do break a daily 20, there's probably going to be some meaning behind the downside. To be honest, I think I'm feeling a little bit more like this previous high over here on the 4 hour, back at like 25,027, right here. See these highs, these lows, these highs, these lows? That's probably where you're looking, right? If you really do see another very weak day, a failure of the daily 20, a break of these overnight lows, you're probably getting some pretty decent juice to the downside. And at that point, I think it's going to be pretty hard to stop until you hit a major demand. And that would, to me, be right in here. All right, see this? I don't think this holds it up. I don't think this holds it up. This, if you guys remember, actually, wow, I just got a memory. I just remembered us talking about this zone. Who remembers us talking about this zone right here? This was that straight up, straight down zone. Straight up, straight down, straight up. So if we do fail back under that 282 overnight low, I'd say you're straight down into 25,070 or 25,027. So, yeah, there's definitely both sides. You are definitely looking to see if this daily 20 holds. This has been the pullback long that we looked for. This was the level, right? All here when we were on this live stream and we were saying it will pull back, it will pull back. Trust me, it's going to happen. I can guarantee it's going to happen. Well, here it is, right? Just a week later. And it's just classic market action. This is very good. No one should be surprised that this happened. If you are surprised and you were panicked yesterday, then you have, just to be quite honest, right? And I like to give, harsh criticism that hopefully helps, because there is no room for holding hands in the stock market. There's no room for making you feel good about yourself. The truth of the matter is, if you were shocked by the downside yesterday, you have not been paying attention. All right, that's about as simple as it gets. If you were somehow thrown off by this pulling back after going straight up, you're simply not paying attention, or you're way off. Okay, so this is exactly what we talked about for weeks. This is exactly what we got, and now it's time to lock in, because this could be the re-entry long that we look back at and say, holy shit, what an opportunity that was, right? I can't believe I didn't buy some of that dip right into the level that I was waiting for myself to buy that dip, right? We're up here, right? And we say, give me a dip so I can re-long this market. Then the market goes back up and you say, man, I missed it, so I'm going to long back at the supply highs, right? That's the classic harsh cycle. So there's going to have to be a point, my friends, at some point here. If you are going to be someone that says they bought this dip, there's going to have to be a point where you take a risk, right? Basically, you just need to decide where that risk needs to be taken. For me, that risk is taken if you can reclaim the 25,570, right? I would take a risk if you reclaim 25,570. I would start my long thesis there on a reclaim of this Friday high. I would be aware that you could reject 700. If I do reject 700, I would maybe take profits if I get that move. If you get above 700, then I'm really feeling it. And the ultimate decider would be a reclaim back above these lows right here. However, I believe that this is too far up to be really considering a large, risk-reward trade. So at some point, I'm going to have to get a little bit risky down here to see if I can get that major move. We shall see, but that's what the stock market's all about, taking risks. So the game plan is setting up. Our thesis is setting up. Our read from last week of looking for the pullback has happened. Everything we've talked about has happened. It's time to, figure out where we're going to put some risk on. So for me, 25,570, daily 20 holding. If we do not see a reclaim above 570 today and this thing just tanks again, well, then no harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. S&P 500 futures. You are holding the daily 20, but I am slightly concerned about one thing here, and I am going to adjust this. I'm going to turn this red because I think that actually is the right move. I am slightly concerned about the fact that you are rejecting this previous high here at 68.12. This is a must reclaim for me, okay? I cannot see the S&P 500 reject back below this major high. So if I go to the 4-hour chart, take a look at this. If you reject this 4-hour high over here at 68.12, that is not good for upside. So we need to see that reclaim right here. This. You do not want to see it fail here. If this fails here, you're going lower. You need to get back above. This is a good hold at our 67.50. This was our next level of demand below on the ES, which is exactly where we hit last night and bounced higher. We are now failing underneath this 68.01, 68.12 level, which is this previous 4-hour high. You need to get back above that. If you can reclaim that, which you can see is that exact zone you're sort of rejecting this morning, then I believe you can look for that upside towards 68.50 again. Right? That would be the ultimate reclaim level right here. I believe back over that 68.12, back into the 68.50, and let's take a moment to just bask in the glory of the retest of previous day low. I mean, break and retest of previous day low. A very elementary thing to look for. There's no fancy words. There's no fancy terminology. There's no impossible to read things that happen. There is nothing but elementary watching candles. And, well, that's the hard part, is watching the price action. But in terms of the terminology here, in terms of what I am asking you to look for, right, it is about as elementary as it gets. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. Lows from Monday turning into highs from yesterday. That is just one of the most beautiful things you have probably seen in quite some time, right, on this market. That doesn't get much better than that. So, beautiful trade. That trade alone goes for hundreds of percent. Just an absolute money-making move. Got to get over 68.12, 68.01. If you get that, maybe some more upside. Failures under 67.50 bring you lower to 6,700 right here. Failures under 67.50 today bring you to 6,700. Okay, ADP, really nothing going on from it, huh? All right. Okay, SPY. Take a look. Look at the little discrepancy on the SPY today. Where's the SPY? Right here. 673, 674. It's right above it. It's perfectly holding it. Right? Look at this. You are holding this golden zone on the SPY pretty much perfectly. 673, 674, daily 20 SMA. This is a huge spot today for the SPY. Can you maintain? Can you maintain today? That is going to be a major watch. I love the way that we went below it in the overnight session and trapped that short so far. I love that. That adds fuel to the fire for me, right? I love that you went under it to the 670 demand, got back above it in the overnight session. That is very, that adds interest to the long for me, no doubt. No doubt. However, we need to get back over 680 for me. That really is the level. There's some cute levels on the ES over that 68.12. There is a nice potential over 570 to 700 as scalps, but nothing is legitimate for upside. There is definitely scalps to the upside, but nothing tells me that this is fully legitimate until you get back above that 680 SPY, right? You could definitely look to take this scalp long, but you are always open to the fact that this could fail again, right? Any long from any point below 680 needs to understand that at any point in the future, if we see 680 again on my long, this could reject again. The only time you can sort of sit comfortable and just put your feet up and say, yep, we're going higher, is if you reclaim 680, right? If you do that, I would definitely close my eyes on longs, right? That would be where I'd be like, okay, we're going higher. Because that is a total reclaim of this triple bottom low and yesterday's highs. That is every reason to look for upside. But any level south of 680, you still need to have that caution of that rejecting, right? 100%. 100%. So that's the line in the sand, without a doubt. QQQ. Perfect daily 20 hold, perfect demand zone hold, perfect golden zone hold, the golden zone that's on the whiteboard behind me. Perfect. Previous highs, right at the 613 in the daily 20 SMA. It's a perfect bounce. It really could not get any cleaner there. That, again, is the exact break and retest level that we were talking about on this live stream this entire week of last week. Can we get the pullback to 613 and these previous double top highs? Well, here it is, right? Perfect. So now let's see if we can get a long off of it. What I would want to see today is a reclaim of this Friday high at 618.42. If we can get that, I think you'll navigate to 622. If you get that, then you go back to the 627 and yesterday's rejection point. That's something I'll be watching. That lines up pretty much perfect with the NASDAQ at this 25,570. All right? That would be the level to see. Reclaim that Friday high. All right. All right. Good luck. Gold trades over. Trades over for me here on gold. This was a beautiful fade. Nice little bear flag. Nice drop. Perfect trade. Trades over. You're back into demand lows. Definitely could bounce off this again. You have entered a channel of death on gold. Pretty much. This is now where gold will become less interesting, right? Gold will maybe even go back to being something like this again. It was fun. It's no longer any fun. So, yeah, not interested anymore. Got to get outside of this range. I'll set my alerts and I'll wait. SMH, awesome pullback through our low volume gap. We've talked about that low volume on the volume profile yesterday. And we basically just, whoops, what did I do? Oh, God. Hold on. I just deleted everything. Volume profile. There. All right. So yesterday we talked about that low volume gap. We went right through it and we retested our major demand here at the 345 and the, right around that 345, 347 previous high here. I like that 345 hold, but there is one thing that I need to see on the SMH today to be long, and that is a reclaim of 353 right here. If we can reclaim the 353 right here, I think you will see that break and retest long back to the upside towards the 360. 353 is also the Friday high, right? Everything is coming off of this Friday high right here. See this? Right there. Right there. Can you get above it? That is the same read for the NASDAQ futures, the same read for the SMH. Can you get above it? IWM. Really strong yesterday, actually. All right, IWM did not break the channel low with that market downside. IWM is still within this channel, right? Even with that downside yesterday, look at this demand hold. Really strong demand hold again. So if markets bounce, can IWM be an outperformer? Something to pay attention to. Okay. Tesla, still holding the 440 in the daily 20. Still a nice consolidation above that daily 20. It's starting to become a little bit difficult, but, pretty much you're just in a channel. And that's really it. You're in a channel. 440 to 470, you're in a 30-point channel here. If you want to trade Tesla, you got to be long here. You got to be short here. That's really it. If you're going to trade this channel. I would love to see, I don't know if I would love to see it, but a downside move under 440 really is where this sparks, right? If we do get downside. Under 440 on Tesla is where the floodgates open. How do I draw floodgates opening? It'd be like this and this and this and this. There's the floodgates, right? If you come through here, floodgates open, you're slicing right through this level. 440 to 414.50, I do not believe has much support in here. And you can see if you fail that low right there, it's probably going to get pretty ugly. So I'd be watching 440. That's really where the opportunity strikes for me. If it holds 440, then you're probably just going to grind higher towards this supply again. So, yeah, not too much on Tesla today for me. What the hell is this thing doing? Nvidia. Who caught Nvidia yesterday? Raise the hands. Who caught Nvidia yesterday? Raise the hands. I'll raise mine. Oh, wait. Press the like button. Didn't. Nice. Josh, nice. Nvidia, nice. G, rad. Nice, guys. Anyone have the Arc? Anyone got Arc Raiders? Anyone download that game in the Discord? Let me check the Discord chat. Anyone download Arc Raiders? Should I be downloading that game? Let me know. So, what was our thesis? Well, under 201, we were looking for the downside move through the low volume area, which has been filled up a little bit more here, down into our 190 demand. That was our first target, right in that area. And we can see yesterday, if we go to the 1 minute chart, the 201 break and retest yesterday was pretty damn nice. A little bit sloppy here, but previous low, break, retest, rejection. This is where I caught it, which was right here. I mean, it's pretty much perfect. Previous low a day, break, retest, bear flag, bam, bam, bam. And then eventually it just sort of rejects it again, and then eventually just sort of fades. Arc Raiders is the bee's knees. Okay, I might have to get it. Now, today, what are we watching? I don't like anything inside of this range now on Nvidia. Nothing. I don't like anything between 190 and 201. It's pointless to trade in here now. This is where the chop happens, right? This was the original trade. Now it's the chop. So what do you need to happen on Nvidia to look back for a new trade? It's pretty damn clear. You either look for this to fade 201 again, right, at this high, or you look for the reclaim ripper, right? That's it. I would not short back into this daily 20 unless you are just scalping off a 201 rejection. That would be the only interest possibly on a little 201 scalp rejection. But now that you are back to the 190 and that daily 20, and you see this hold that came in overnight, I'm actually a little bit more interested in this, personally. So I'm going to be watching that 201 very closely today, but we need to get back above it. Yeah, the price action was not great. I agree on that, Easy. It was not. It was a little bit choppy. Just that 201 retest rejection was about the cleanest thing of the day. All right, AMD. So earnings yesterday. How were the earnings, actually? I didn't even look at them. So we get some price target increases. That's good. Yeah, some pretty major price target increases, actually. Wow. Holy crap. Jesus, look at all these price targets. It's like bam, 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 bam. Holy crap. Am I the only one that thinks that these... am I the only one that's skeptical on these OpenAI partnerships? I mean, where's all this money coming from? I'm sort of confused about it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit like, that's a little bit, I don't know. I guess I'm just an idiot, but I mean, that just seems a little bit strange to me. Just something's a little off. A little bit. Just a little bit. Where's all that coming from? But anyways, 244. That's the key level. If AMD can hold strong today at this daily 20 and reclaim 244 and come back after this earnings, I mean, I think you might see some strength if I was to be honest. You probably want to see it back over this 250 spot. This 250 spot looks like it could be a little bit of a rejection spot right in here. So just be a little bit careful around that 250, right? But I don't mind that trade from 244 reclaim to 250. I don't mind this trade right here for a little scalp. Back over this 250, it really was like 250 to 253 if I remember correctly, where those major holds came in. But Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be looking for that I'm going to try to set something up off this 244. It's actually starting to hold. 244 is this very clear previous high back here, guys. Look. This high right here, 244. It's like 244 to, yeah, right around that 242.50. And that is, yeah, right in this area. So look at this. You're breaking out of this right now. All right. Yeah, this is going to be a watch in here. Does AMD do a little reclaim ripper? I am slightly cautious, though, of these lows. I am. These lows right in here. Because you could just be retesting these previous lows. So let me set this up how I would want this. Hold on. I don't want to be long if we reject those 4-hour lows at 250. But I think it is interesting to be long if you reclaim these highs. So that's sort of the zones that I would be watching here. Can you reclaim 244? But you need to be cautious of being long into these lows right here. This low, because you could see something like this. All right? So, yeah, a little bit cautious, but definitely a spot there to be paying attention to. I would be watching that. Okay. Qualcomm earnings tonight. Not too interested on the intraday. Probably going to lose on my swing trade that I've been sitting in. Basically went down to like small size to see if this thing can run, and it looks like it's not going to run. So probably going to exit that before earnings today. I have no interest in it today. MU, good pullback, and look at this daily 20 hold, right? This was sort of the thing that I was talking about yesterday. We had that little conversation about MU, and right, the thing we wanted to see was, can we at least get a pullback to the daily 20, right? And when stocks get extended over their daily 20, pullbacks typically come in. Well, look what happened yesterday. Pullback to the daily 20. I mean, just absolutely perfect. So that's good. I'm happy about that. I like that. That's a good pullback on MU. Now I can reset, right? Look for this 218, 217 to hold. Look for these previous lows right here to turn into new lows, which is already happening very strong in the pre-market. That would be a pullback I'd have to look for, because at this point, I'm not going to long right back into these supply highs at 230, right? So I need to see a long off here or here. Starting to get away from you. Is NASDAQ over that high? Yeah, NASDAQ sort of going. Yeah, it's starting to set up here. Palantir. Let's actually, I don't want to go to Palantir yet. I want to go to Broadcom. Broadcom's been a little bit slow lately, but it is holding that 340 and 50 SMA level. You can see right here. Nice little spot there. Got to get back over 360. So I'm going to create an alert at 360 there. Okay, let's go to Apple. Guys, I would definitely watch Apple upside today if the market is strong. Apple is outperforming like a monster. Apple and Google are two very strong outperformers right now. Look at Apple through the downside yesterday. It was up. It didn't even go down. So this is very interesting. 264, little pullback hold in that zone. Daily 20 is still below at 260, saying, hey, don't worry, I got your back. And if you come back to me, I'll bounce again, right? So, you know, I'll definitely be looking if Apple does come back to that daily 20. That is a huge opportunity. But for now, you're just sort of holding above these previous highs right here. And yesterday, Apple was green. So pretty crazy. Nice, strong move this morning. If Apple gets over 273, this is a must-watch. So watching 273 Apple for some outperformance. Amazon stuck in a channel, not touching it until it breaks it. Google outperformance yesterday. Another one that I think you should be watching. Google put in a little bit of a trap here below 277 in the overnight session here, right? You can see it pulled back to these 272 lows, got bought up aggressively in this zone. Now it's back above 277. If we can hold above this 277 low right here, I think Google can push. It needs to get over 281. That's what I'll be waiting for. 281, possibly, you know what? I might move that to 282 just to be safe. It looks like it could be 282. That rejection from yesterday. Or from yesterday. So 282 for me. That would be the target. Okay. Let's go now to Palantir. Wow, we're running quick today. 8:34. Hell yeah. Palantir. It's the pullback you wanted, man. It's the pullback you wanted. Right here. 185, daily 20, previous structure highs, holding right now. If we can reclaim this previous high here at 190, I think you could get it. So that's what I'd be watching. Right now, you are still rejecting that 190, 195 area, which is heavy. If you can hold here and maintain a strong demand and get some legitimate reclaims over 190 and over 195, then I think you can start moving. Did the NASDAQ reject? Oh, yeah, look at that. Oof, okay. Right at 570. Holy crap. Was it exactly 570? 570 on the dot. There you go. Right here. See this? Watch this. 570. So that's your spot. There's no doubt about it. That's your spot. Game, set, match. All right? Game plan, set. Just perfect. Right there. 570. All right. Hood. Like the pullback on Hood. Like the 130. It's good. It's a good daily 50. All right. Good daily 50 pullback. Need to get over 140. Need to reclaim the daily 20 SMA right there. Got to get above it. Need reclaims. Reclaim rippers. You need them. Aklo, I'm going to say that the short is probably over for now. This is the big demand low that I was anticipating us to come back down to. And I think that you're probably going to see this battle pretty good. So I'm assuming you're going to see some dip buyers here at the 110 on Aklo. I don't think you want to short this anymore. The only way you short this at this point is a major breakdown of this 108 low. Maybe this 108, 108, possibly, 108, 110. That's going to be the zone that looks like it's going to hold. If you break the 108, you probably see that 103 and then maybe that 100 again. But for now, I think that's gonna battle a little bit. So, yeah, not really interested in shorting into a hole on Aklo. I've seen what happens when you short into holes on Aklo. Not good stuff. MRVL, not that interested today. APP, sort of interesting, but there's earnings tonight, so sort of not interested. But a reclaim of this 619 would be a reason to go higher. Finally, something I think you should pay attention to, guys, a bigger picture trade that I think you really want to watch is CrowdStrike. This is, for you guys that like the break and retest on the daily, this is your bread and butter right here, my friends. Previous daily highs, daily breakout, daily chart pullback. The daily 20 is lined up right at that level. This is like, if you were to build a textbook of what I look for, and this would be the front cover, right? Put it on the front cover. Here's the book, and let's just put a previous double top high break and retest on the daily chart right on that textbook, right? This is exactly what you put on that textbook. It's this move right here. All right, is it not? Rejection, hold. Daily 20 curling up. Is that not exactly what we look for every day? Look at this. High, low. Daily 20 curling up. So, definitely watch CrowdStrike. If we can get a little bit more to 518, I'd be watching this. Okay? How'd our Dark Horse do yesterday? Rejected our supply. Okay. Dark Horse ain't ready. Still rejecting supply. All right. That is going to be it for me. NASDAQ, ooh, right back through it. Okay. This looks sort of strong, man. This looks sort of strong. Let's see if we can get some holds today. I actually want to do... Yeah, I want to do this. Hold on. I want to put a level here. What is this high? 550. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty strong. Trying to get through it. ES is trading into the 6812. SPY is holding that daily 20. QQQ. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay. Little break and retest to 618.42. Oh, so that was just perfect right there. Look at that on the QQQ. You just did a little break and retest of this Friday high. Holy crap. That was nice. Right here. See this Friday high? Look what you just did there. Sick. That's sick. Okay. 618.42. 618.40 area. That's the spot. You hold that today. Definitely interested. Let's see. Let's see. Make sure to go down below, guys, and get your registration link to our 3-day event coming in November 16th. We're going to have some pretty nice giveaways. Not going to lie. I'm setting up some nice stuff for you guys if you come to that stream. Sort of end-of-year giveaways. We might be getting TradeZella involved. And, yeah, just trying to get some cool stuff going. So if you want to be there, it's free. I'm not asking you to pay any money. Just come show up. Make sure to register down in the description. We're going to have Black Friday deals there. You guys know I always do a little something for Black Friday. That's the only time of the year I'll take a little bit of a discount for joining our community. So we'll have a little Black Friday deal then. Yeah, check it out down below. November 16th, 17th, 18th. Sunday, we'll prep together on a live stream. Monday and Tuesday, we'll trade together on a live stream. So should be pretty fun. We did it last time. It was pretty exciting. And if you guys want to do it again, then make sure to check it out down below. What else? I think that's it. 570 holding. This is going to be, oops. This looks like it could be a nice day right here, man. I'm excited. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.